What's up, guys? Happy Friday. Welcome to another edition of the Current Era Podcast. I am your host, Julian, and today I do have a special NBA playoff preview for you guys. I have Javar back on to help me discuss the NBA playoffs from the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference. We talk about our most exciting matchups, who's going to go off in the playoffs, and we couldn't do this without first talking about the Lakers. As most of you know by now, Magic Johnson has stepped down as president of basketball operations for the Lakers. So we talk about that for like the first 5 or 10 minutes, and then we get right into the NBA playoff predictions. Playoffs do start tomorrow, and man, I'm looking forward to it so much. I love the NBA playoffs. It's the best time of the year for me as a basketball fan. Even though the Lakers are not in it, I still love the game. So of course I watch everything. I watch every game, and man, I'm just so excited. So, guys, before you listen to the episode, please remember to rate, like, and subscribe. You can subscribe to the Current Era Podcast by just hitting that subscribe button, which will download the episodes automatically for you, or you can just download the episodes individually. Those downloads are what really count for me, guys, so appreciate you always downloading those episodes. For all my new listeners, you can always follow me on Instagram at the Current Era Podcast and at Jules, that's Joul 3S, or at the Current Era Podcast on Instagram. You can follow me on there, and I'll be posting updates, behind-the-scenes things, bloopers, a whole bunch of stuff like that. All right, guys, no more plugs. Let's get right to the episode. Welcome to another edition of the Current Era Podcast. I'm your host, Julian, and today I have a special NBA playoff preview. And I have, of course, my brother Javar, as always, to help me talk about and dissect the NBA. Javar, what's going on with you, man? How are you all the way over there?
I'm good, man. I'm good, but don't try to bury the lead. Woo, 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 woo. Magic Johnson, come on, let's get to it. You know we got to talk about it.
Yeah. So, guys, I mean, obviously, you know by now, both of us are diehard Lakers fans. This is going to be a playoff preview, but we have to talk about what just happened. Magic Johnson steps down as president of basketball operations from the Los Angeles Lakers. Javar, when this happened, I was actually recording another podcast, and I saw the notification on my phone. I literally stopped recording the podcast, and I was just like, I had to read it. I was like, what? Like, I didn't believe it. It was a total shocker for me. What's your reaction to this, man?
I mean, yeah, that's my reaction as well. Like, my jaws dropped for like a good 20, 30 minutes just processing, like, how the hell did we get to this?
Yes, seriously. Like, Came out of left field, man. Came out of left field. I was not expecting this at all.
Like, I thought I was numb to the Lakers at this point. I ain't been watching them. I haven't been paying attention.
Yep, exactly.
Just waiting for Luke to get fired, and then let's see what we're going to do. And, see where the draft pick goes. I was already pretty much resigned to, whatever.
You see him to the end, like you said.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just the way he did it. I mean, he just right after Luke did his final pregame press conference, Magic, just waves the media over to him. There's an impromptu press conference and basically just drops a bomb that he's resigning. It just goes on to talk about it for another like 45 minutes.
45 minutes, yeah, it was long.
And then he's as he's walking away, as he's leaving the arena, he's still giving out interviews. So like really, he's holding court for like a good 2.5 hours. Just, off the cuff. And my first thing was like, once I was able to process it, I was like, okay, is this something that like he's been playing? Like he just wasn't feeling it, because he really hasn't been around. His first year, you remember they used to do a lot more press conferences. He was more enthusiastic. This year, he kind of has just been falling back. So I know it's been a lot of drama. Everybody's raving him in the media. It hasn't been good for him. But
trade rumors
Magic Johnson. I figured he just own it and will just come out and give us some kind of reassurance that he knows what he's doing and he's got a plan. And so I just wondered, like, was this something that he's been thinking about for a while, and the way he's explaining it, that's how it comes off.
Right.
But the way he did it, it almost seems like it was just a off the cuff, like an impulse, and he was just like, screw it, I'm out, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like, you're not gonna let me fire Luke. Without being mad at me and trying to put me on the spot. You're not gonna let me get rid of Rob and hire who I want.
Exactly.
I want to do this my way. It feels like he kind of was just being a big baby about it and just took his ball and went home and was just gave up on everything. Just aborted on the Lakers, aborted on the franchise, gave up on the fans. I mean, how can you look at him the same after this? I mean,
you can't.
This has to tarnish his legacy. I mean, I'm sorry.
No, I mean that's 100% facts. And my instant reaction after the shock was anger, because I had similar feelings. I'm like, how could you do this to us? This is Magic Johnson. This is Mr. Laker, Magic Johnson, and he real life just quit on the franchise. I mean, it's unfathomable. Like it's unthinkable. And when it happened, I was really like I was at a loss for words. Like I remember you called me maybe 10 minutes after, and you were talking to me about it. And dog, like I was not like I was
just heard blah 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 blah.
Yeah, like I was so shocked. I was just like, Jabbar, like you're talking, I don't hear anything you're saying. Like I'm not processing this. Like I am completely shocked right now. It was like an out of body experience, bro. Like it hurt. Like it really did.
Yeah, I think at that point I was already in the acceptance, and I was just like, screw it. This is, like, I'm just gonna say, like, I think, okay, for listeners who listened to this podcast from when we started, you might have remembered that, we were high on the Magic.
Yes.
For the most part, we didn't really fully agree with how he built the roster this year, but it was 1-year deals. I wasn't tripping on it, and things just went astray. And then a couple weeks after that, it was the Anthony Davis rumors, and that really soured me on how they handled things. But I didn't necessarily fully blame Magic. I was like, okay, Magic and Rob and Jeanie and Clutch, Rich Paul and whatever, I thought they all was involved. But
absolutely,
just looking back on it, because the way Magic was talking about Rob, it sounded like he didn't really like mess with him at all. Like Jeanie put them together, and it was just kind of like, they were still getting to know each other. He didn't really have anything nice to say about Rob.
Right.
And he was talking about like he's tired of the whispers and people
talking behind his back and betraying him
and leaking out stuff. And apparently there's this big ESPN article that was supposed to come out. I don't know if they're going to release it at this point now. That was supposed to talk about his misconduct and how he's treating employees and how he's just a tyrant and never there and all this. Basically just tearing them to shreds.
Yep.
And I wonder if that has something to do with it as well, because he seemed to know the article is coming out.
Yeah.
And this guy wants everybody to love him at the end of the core. But then he was basically saying that as well. He wanted to go back to his old life where he was tweeting and being on ESPN and just talking about being an ambassador for the game.
And man,
this beloved figure. And I understand him on that because I was feeling some type of way last year. Or maybe it was this year, I can't remember, when he got fined for just talking about Giannis is going to lead the Bucks to the championship.
Yeah.
Saying Giannis is a great player, he's going to lead Milwaukee Bucks to the championship. He's great for the city. How the hell he get fined for that? For tampering? That's some BS. So and then the Ben Simmons thing this year, a couple months ago around All-Star break, where he brought up that Ben asked to work out with him, and he tried to run it by Elton Brand, the Sixers GM. And he's getting all the paperwork in a row lined up. And then Elton Brand came out and just basically said, like, no, Ben Simmons ain't going nowhere near Magic Johnson, blah, blah, blah. He blew it up, blew up out of proportion. There was Magic tampering again. So I understand where he's coming from with that. I defended him on that. But at the same time, it's just like, okay, maybe it's at the end of the day, it's best because if he's not going to be around and put in the work, he's not. He doesn't. That Zubats move was also terrible. We've had some very brash, terrible. He doesn't seem to value young players as much as he should. His assets as much as he should.
Definitely.
He overruled the scouting department to draft Mo Wagner. Sorry. Who might turn out to be a good player, but there was guys like Mitchell Robinson or. There's a couple other guys that we could have taken with that pick last year, but whatever. Late first, it's a wash. It's turned out to be a decent player or not.
Exactly hit or miss either way.
Yeah, so I'm not tripping on that, but it just seems like in the last year he's really just been overruling people on things and just kind of been being a bit of a renegade, and maybe that is why people are whispering behind his back because they were getting tired of it. So. I don't know. I don't know where we go from here. I really hope that Jeanie just cleans house at this point, as far as like the front office. Like, what's the point of Rob Pelinka? What was his point? What did he do?
Good
I mean, I don't
question.
know. He's not gonna be a draw for free agents. He's not gonna like the GMs don't even want to deal with him. They don't even want to talk to him because when he was an agent, apparently he was like a liar and just a shady type of character for his clients.
Oh wow.
Um, so that's why like when the Pelicans, when AD asked for a trade, the Pelicans weren't even picking up the phone for Rob Pelinka.
Yeah,
So
man.
what's the point? What
Mhm.
is he gonna do? Like, yeah, get rid of him too,
Yeah.
and let's just find somebody that I know a lot of people don't want to go back to like all these, like don't want to be the LA Cavs and have all these people that LeBron had. But David Griffin, he sounds like a really smart dude. I mean, he's been on TV and stuff. He sounds like you know what he's talking about. He understands people. He got rid of David Blatt when the whole team didn't like him, and they won the championship that year.
Yeah,
Um,
man, it's tough to say. Like, I don't know how the Lakers can move forward from this because, I mean, when Magic was talking about how he wanted to be available to all players and he was tired of being basically hindered by his role. I was just like, why did you take the job, Magic? Like
right.
you should have known what basketball operations meant for the Lakers. That means that Lakers are first and foremost. That means that you cannot just work out with Ben Simmons because you want to. You can't just do that. And it seems like, and I think David Griffin actually said this on NBA TV, but it seems like maybe he didn't fully understand what the role entailed. And once he started to realize that, he was just like, well, I don't want to do this because, like you said, I want to be happy Magic, and I'm bigger than this. Basically, he was like, look, like this job's not going to ruin my life. Like I'm Magic Johnson. So
And
yeah,
not only just that, but it's also like his reputation, right? Because everybody's clowning him in the media, which they're doing
yes,
now. But but he didn't want to. He was a failure, and he didn't want to go through facing having the biggest failure summer and not getting nobody, and
yeah,
basically ruining LeBron's prime. He's just, I mean, not prime, but his last couple years of his prime or peak or whatever he's at.
hmm
Um, he just couldn't face it, and it's a bit of it's we didn't even talk about he didn't Jeannie Buss is supposedly a sister to him, and he didn't
yeah.
even tell her. He didn't tell anybody. He
He
just
couldn't bear to tell her. He couldn't see her
that
face.
is so weak. I don't want to hear that. This is a guy who in game 7 as a rookie, he stepped in as a center and won the championship for his team. You tell him he can't face someone he calls his sister and tells them, just be honest and just say,
Yeah, this is a guy who had to publicly announce that he had HIV. Like
right,
what?
like that, the bravery it takes for that, and you can't, it just seems like something's fishy. I'm really almost waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Oh yeah,
This ESPN article must really, really be bad.
yeah. I
Um,
agree.
and I wonder at this point if they're even going to release it because I don't know if you listened or saw the press conference. He's like, yeah, over there now I'm gonna go back to ESPN. They hired me like 2 times already, and
hmm
I'm probably gonna go back. I'm gonna need a job, Rachel, or something like that. He was talking to somebody,
Yeah, yeah.
and so I guess he's gonna go to ESPN now. So they're not gonna try to crap on him.
Mm-mm-mm.
They're gonna hire him back. So it all seems like some kind of political stuff to where he just really does not want this to come out because it's gonna ruin his reputation even worse.
This is some Game of Thrones stuff, boy. Like,
Hmm.
look,
Hmm.
if you do this, then this is gonna happen. If you don't do this, then that's gonna happen. I'm just like, whew. So, man, just to wrap this up quickly, I didn't want to spend too much time on it, but how can the Lakers move forward from this? I mean, this is a big summer for us. We cannot swing and miss. We can't. But Magic leaving in the fashion that he did doesn't help our chances at all.
Hold on.
So
Why can't we?
why can't we
Why does
swing
that?
and miss?
Why is everybody like acting like this has to be it? Because we got
Because
LeBron. This guy,
yeah,
he's so what? He's 34, 35. He just got hurt. He could fall off a cliff this year. Let's not blow our wad for this guy. I mean, yeah,
mm,
you want to try to get
uh,
somebody, but if not, okay, well, sorry, LeBron. What you want to trade? You want to get out of here? So what you want to do? Because we got a team of young guys, and you the only veteran on the team.
hmm
If you don't want to play with these young guys, I mean, what you want us to do? We're not going to trade. I wouldn't. That's why I didn't want to trade for Anthony Davis during the season. I don't want to give up everybody and just have LeBron and Star B and mercenaries again.
Mm.
We're not going to have any money to sign anybody after that.
You know, if it was literally any other player in the league, I may agree with you. But because it's LeBron, I mean, and both of us know that I'm not the biggest LeBron fan, but I respect his talent and I respect what he does on the court. So LeBron's literally the only player where I think, especially at this point in his career, we have to do what we can now to capitalize on what he has left. Now, sure, of course, he could go out there and pull his hamstring again and get hurt again, but I mean, we should try. That's my opinion. But
Yeah, I agree. We should try, but I don't think this should be like, you know, if we swing and miss, then okay, we're gonna have to get Mike Conley or Bradley Beal or something and say, mortgage our future for this guy. I don't want to do that. I don't.
Okay.
Not to that extent. You know what
I
I'm
agree.
saying?
No, I agree. I
Okay.
agree. I agree. I agree. All right. So
But
let's.
so what we
Go ahead.
can do. So first, they need to try to call Jerry West, whose contract expires with the Clippers this summer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I know he's 80, 81. He's not going to do a full-time president or GM role, but he could be a consultant. And then
Sure.
let's hire on president of basketball operations. I nominate David Griffin
Mm-hmm.
as a free agent out there. But if what they should do is try to steal Golden State's GM
Bob
Bob
Myers.
Myers or R.C. Buford or Greg Popovich
Mm-hmm.
and or both or whatever from the Spurs. Daryl Morey from the Rockets. Just get the top executive. Just go for it. Offer a blank check.
I was about to
Like,
say you just
and
throw the
just see what
bag.
happens. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What about Luke,
And
man? How does Luke fit in all this for you?
at this point, we got to start from the top.
Okay.
Because I don't know. Maybe if we get Bob Myers and maybe he likes Luke. He worked with him in Golden State.
Right.
Maybe if we get David Griffin, maybe he likes Luke. I don't know.
Yeah.
Vice versa. So I don't. It depends. I mean, honestly, Luke is not a terrible coach. He needs to spruce up his coaching staff. He needs, some more veterans on his coaching staff. But he's a
Definitely.
good young coach. I mean, who's out there that's really much better? I mean,
Nobody.
unless you could get Greg Popovich, or Doc Rivers.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Sure. Yeah.
But Ty Lue, that's like a
No.
lateral move to me. Mark
Mark
Jackson.
Jackson. No.
I don't.
Jason
Jason
Kidd. No.
No, that's a downgrade to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't. But it is important that you get somebody that LeBron respects and is gonna
Very
play
true.
hard for him.
Very
And
true.
if Luke is not the guy, then okay, then
He gotta
we're gonna
go.
have to keep moving. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's important we start at the top though. So I'm really interested to see how they do this. I think the worst case scenario is if they just stay status quo and just use Rob Pelinka and Kurt Rambis and whoever she got in her little small circle.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sorry. I know you kind of did Kobe a solid by hiring Rob, and he gave up his agency life to come, which was very lucrative. He's a very successful agent. Come
Definitely.
be the GM for the Lakers, and it's only been 2 years. And if he was to get dropped, I mean, I'm sure Kobe wouldn't like that. And but
Kobe
I
will be all right.
I don't think there's going to be anybody or too many executives that can come in that are experienced and know what they're doing and are going to be like, yeah, sure, I'll keep your guy. I'll keep freaking Rob Pelinka, who I don't even like, uh, in my front office. So I don't know. I don't see it ending well for him unless it's like the worst case scenario that they promote him to president.
Right.
What about you?
Okay.
What do you think, though?
Man, it's difficult because to me, obviously finding a president of basketball operations is extremely important. But I'm more worried about this free agency because Magic and LeBron were two selling points for free agents. I mean, whether people want to admit that or not, it was a fact. Like people love Magic Johnson, and he was a big reason why LeBron came. So that part is what worries me because Kyrie is supposed to give us a meeting. Kawhi hopefully would give us a meeting, and there's just a whole bunch of free agents: KD, Clay, Kemba, so on and so forth. So I just
think
hope
all
that
those
this
guys
doesn't
still
affect
will.
that.
Yeah,
I hope so.
I hope so. I think they still will out of respect for LeBron and whatever, But I mean, if they were going to do it already after the season we just had,
Yeah, I know, right?
Does it really make a difference?
Yeah, that's true.
And
That's
Magic
true.
Johnson, he could still be in the room. He could tamper all he want now.
Magic, do your tampering, sir. But do it for the
Exactly.
Lakers and the Lakers only.
He should be hanging out in Golden State and Boston, splitting time,
Definitely.
trying to recruit.
All right, man. So let's go ahead and get to this NBA playoff preview. So the playoffs start this Saturday. Let's start with the East first, because in my opinion, the East has more interesting matchups. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Let's start with number 1 seed Milwaukee versus the number 8 seed Pistons. To be honest, this is, Brogdon's injured. Who's the 3-point shooter? I can never remember the dude's name. Dude with the beard, that's streaky. Mirotic is injured, but it doesn't matter. This should be a sweep, in my opinion, for the Bucks. I think this series is going to help put Giannis on the map. Like he should dominate this series. But give me your thoughts on this series, man. How do you think it's going to go?
Well, I don't know if it'll be a sweep because the Bucks have never even got out the first round. They're still, relatively young and inexperienced team. And I'll give the Pistons maybe one game. Blake might go off for 40 or something.
Well, he's battling a knee injury, so he might not even play in game one. His status
right. He's been dragging. Yeah, he's been on one leg.
Yeah, his status is questionable as of right now.
Yeah, I give it the first game at home was a game 3 for the Pistons. Usually that's the one game teams can try to steal. So
very true.
Other than that, like you said, it should be domination. Who's going to guard Giannis now?
Exactly.
On one leg? I'm
exactly.
Sorry. So he's probably going to have like 6 posters a game, just stopping everybody.
It's funny. Yeah, he is. Milwaukee, they lost their last game, but they finished the season relatively strong. They went 7-3. They had 60 wins this season. Giannis is still the MVP in my eyes. I don't see them losing the game to the Pistons. The Pistons are god awful. Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond are the only positives that team has. So they'll probably out rebound them, but maybe not because they have Brook Lopez and Pau Gasol and a host of other guys that can rebound the ball. So, but yeah, this series to me it's not going to be that entertaining. The only good thing about it is that Giannis should dominate, so maybe that'll be entertaining. But the Pistons have no chance, in my opinion.
Brook Lopez rebounding the ball. I don't believe you must have watched him with the Lakers last year.
I just said because he's a 7-footer, but yeah, he'll. You're right. You know what? Let me amend that. He will average eight threes a game. Let's put it that way. So
I don't really have any further thoughts on them. This is probably going to be the wackest series in the TV status.
I agree. So you say 4-1, Milwaukee?
Yeah, at worst, yeah.
At worst, okay. So next series is the number 4 seed Boston Celtics versus number 5 seed Indiana Pacers. So let's go ahead and I'll start with you. Go ahead and give me your thoughts on this series first.
So this is one that, man.
Interesting, right?
The Pacers might steal this, man. This might go 7.
No, I agree.
They're a real stingy team. The Celtics been on some BS all year, and I think Smart's going to be out. He tore his oblique. That's rough.
Yeah.
Boston has way more talent than the Pacers, but
they do.
We have a year-long sample size. I just don't.
They don't know how to play together still.
Yeah. It's just too much chemistry issues, and I don't know. I don't want to sound stupid because would you be surprised if the Celtics make it to the finals?
Yes, I would be absolutely surprised.
You'd be surprised at this point.
Based on what I've seen from them this season, I would be 100% surprised if they make it to the finals. Yes.
What about the Eastern Conference Finals?
Eastern Conference Finals, probably not as surprised because looking at their side of the bracket, all they have to beat is Indiana and Milwaukee. And like you said, Milwaukee's young. Because, the Sixers and the Raptors on the other side of the bracket. So technically, Eastern Conference Finals wouldn't surprise me as much. But NBA Finals, that would 100% surprise me. Unless somebody gets hurt, like if Gordon Hayward does not play, or if Kyrie gets hurt and they can play together ball again, that's different. But as it stands right now, I'd be surprised if they make it past the second round.
I mean, yeah, I mean it's wild. I thought they were going to win like 65 plus games this year.
I agree, definitely. I mean, on paper, this team is so good, like on paper, but they just haven't been able to put it together.
I guess I'm gonna go with Celtics in 7. I mean, I don't feel great about that pick.
Okay. So I had the Celtics also, but I got it 4-2. I got them in 6 games. They do have home court advantage. They are a great home team. So at least that they have been in the playoffs for the past 2 or 3 years. So hopefully that'll carry over. But I can easily see this series going 7 games. This series to me could be one of the most entertaining. And it's funny because the Pacers don't have Victor Oladipo, but they play so well together and they play hard. So I feel like this series could really go the distance and be entertaining. But
this is going to be one of those that I think the average scores are going to be like in the 80s and
definitely.
90s.
Definitely.
Both teams are good defensive teams and not good offensive teams.
Yeah, definitely.
Crazy the Celtics are so bad on offense. That goes to show you the chemistry issues because guys are out there trying to my ball. Just trying to take their own shots and they don't really have a good system with all that talent. So it's funny, man. Like Brad Stevens is like the prodigy. Everybody's saying he's the best, second best coach in the league, and
last year,
couldn't get him to work out. So we'll see in the playoffs. It's a different game. Kyrie is definitely gonna step his game up.
Absolutely.
Tatum's game I think plays better in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. That's why I'm like, I mean, I don't want to give up on them making it far in the playoffs because they got 2 guys that are proven playoff killers.
That's true.
Tatum, it was only 1 year, but
Kyrie definitely is though. So we'll see. It'll be interesting series. I've definitely got my eye on that series.
Is there any matchups that you're interested in for the Pacers in that? I think
as far as one-on-one matchups.
Well, just in general, I think they're bigs, Sabonis and Miles Turner. I think they're gonna dominate inside.
Yeah, definitely.
But the perimeter is a weakness.
Yeah,
I don't even know who's. I don't really
they
know
got,
who's really balling like that for them.
Bogdanovich.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're decent, but the thing that separates the Pacers is that they play well together. Like those guys are the literal opposite of my ball. They love to make that extra pass to swing to the corner for the 3, and that the Pacers take and make a lot of threes too. So I mean, I really wouldn't be surprised if it goes 7 games. I really wouldn't be surprised if the Celtics lose, but they would just have to have no chemistry on the floor. No.
I'm sorry. I like the Pacers with Oladipo, but I don't want to see them in the second round. I honestly wish they would have just tanked, but.
I agree. So the next series, man, is the Sixers, number 3 seed Sixers versus the number 6 seed Brooklyn Nets. Wow, these guys surprised everybody this year. Shout out to D'Lo, man. I've never been a huge fan of you. I was happy when we traded you from the Lakers, but you've been hooping this year. I really want you to explode. Like I want you to prove me wrong and prove everybody wrong because I was not the only one that thought that you weren't that good. So I really want you to just blow up in this playoffs and have a great series. There's no way you're going to win the series, but I want you to do well. But Javar, give me your thoughts on this series, man. How do you see it going?
Well, first off, hasn't he already proven you wrong? He's made an All-Star team. It was an injury replacement, but
no,
after the All-Star break, he played even better. He averaged like 21-7.
No, he hasn't proved me wrong.
Decent percentages. Well, I don't think like you said, I don't think they're gonna really have a chance here. For one, Philly is right next. It's what an hour, 2-hour train ride in New York, so they're gonna have hella Sixers fans in the Nets arena.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be like it's almost like home and home. It's a full home court advantage for the Sixers. So I don't see this ending well for the Nets. I think they're just happy to be there, and shout out to them. D'Lo might have maybe a 40-point game or something, but I think he's gonna have a hard time. Once they lock in Ben Simmons and Jimmy Butler, focusing on him.
Yeah.
And I don't think the Nets. I mean, Dinwiddie is okay. LeVert. I don't think they have enough on the perimeter to really help D'Lo. And so yeah, I think I see this being a 4 or 5 game series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. I have similar feelings. Like it's weird. Philly is my pick to come out of the Eastern Conference, but they have such an interesting path because this first series should be a sweep. In my opinion, they're going to win 4-0. They should not lose a game to the Brooklyn Nets. But next series, and we're about to talk about this team, they'll be facing, in my opinion, the Toronto Raptors, and that is going to be a hell of a series. I'm so looking forward to that. But then in the Eastern Conference, they're going to have either Milwaukee or the Celtics. That's going to be just great. The Eastern Conference playoffs are going to be must-see TV for me. I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's to me, it's no guarantee they get past Toronto.
Really? Wow. Okay. We shall talk about that. So the Sixers and Nets. What's your pick, man? Who wins? How many games?
Yeah, I got Sixers in, let's say 5, worst case.
Sixers in 5. All right. Next series, we just talked about them. Toronto Raptors, number 2 seed versus number 7 seed Orlando Magic. I have no idea why the Magic didn't just tank. They really made the playoffs.
They've been tanking for like 10 years.
They really made the playoffs. Like,
it's good
bro,
for them. It's good for them to make it.
Come on, man. What are y'all doing? Orlando, y'all have no chance. This is gonna be a sweep. I'm writing mine down right now. This is gonna be a sweep.
Oh,
and I don't even believe in the Raptors like that. Like, this is gonna be a sweep. Yeah, like I literally don't have much to, like, I mean, I do not believe in the Toronto Raptors. Like, they're easily gonna win this series, but they're gonna get bounced in the next round, in my opinion, by Philly. But
no, man, I really like I like them a lot for the playoffs. Once they got Marc Gasol, he fit in perfect with them.
Man, I forgot about Marc Gasol. I'll be honest, I don't watch the Toronto Raptors play basketball, so I totally forgot. But yeah, no, Joel Embiid for the win. That's my opinion.
For sure, Joel Embiid's better, but Gasol, that's a better option than what they had. So with Gasol and Ibaka, they could try to make it hard for Embiid. Gasol's a good defensive player, so. Yeah, he can spread the floor a little bit. He's a very good passer. Like I said, he fit in perfect with them. And then, got Kawhi. Obviously, he's not going to choke like DeRozan. So Kawhi's going to come out and get his 25 plus on decent efficiency, and he's going to be a great defender. He's going to do that.
Sure, but what about the rest of them? Like, I don't believe in Kyle Lowry. I don't believe in Anunoby. I don't believe in Pascal Siakam. They traded away Valanciunas, thank God, because he was awful in the playoffs the past 2 or 3 years.
I don't know if you can just say that about Pascal Siakam since he just got so much better this year. Like, it's not like he was in a position to make a difference in previous years,
Yeah, but a
different factor.
If he shows me, then I'll believe in it. But until he shows me, I have no confidence in them or anybody else in that team besides Kawhi. I just don't.
You just said you don't watch them, boy. So how would you have confidence? You don't know how they play.
I've seen this team, this same team for the past 4 or 5 years.
This is not
minus. Yes, it is. Minus Kawhi, they're the same players, and the only one that's really gotten better is Siakam. So Kyle Lowry's still garbage. Danny Green.
He's a great 3-and-D. He's having a great year. Yeah.
This is 2014. What?
It might as well be. He's having a great year. Check his stats, boy. You crazy. Kawhi Leonard, Serge Ibaka, Marc Gasol.
The Raptors.
This is not the. And then Pascal Siakam off the bench, or does he start? I don't know. Him and Ibaka switch.
Yeah, they rotate.
So this series is not the same team, bro. Like I'm trying to tell you, they might mess around and beat the Sixers.
There's no chance.
Anyway, especially if they, the back's against the wall. We talked about this, so I don't know, man. Let's see.
Yeah, there's no chance. Okay,
well,
so
as far as the Raptors and Magic, I don't really have much to say for the Magic. I mean, good for them for making the playoffs. Like I said, you got to progress at some point. You can't just be tanking and getting lottery picks forever. I know every year there's a player or two that's supposed to be a generational talent, but you got at some point you got to move forward as an organization. So I get it.
Sure,
it's good for them. Hopefully, one or two of the players has big games and does their thing. But this might even be their last year because Vucevic is a free agent. They might just re-sign him. I don't know. But good for them. The East, boy, what were they like? 39 and 43 or something. They made the playoffs. Like how many teams
Orlando?
Had that? Yeah,
oh no, Orlando 42 and 20.
42 and 20.
Sorry, 42 and 40. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Okay, so they actually went over 500. Okay.
Yeah, they won the last 4 games of the season to get over 500. So good for them. They
Yeah,
doing
they about
good.
to get blasted though. Cool old blast.
Yeah, this would be a 4 game series. So let's move on, man. Let's talk about the Western Conference. So the Western Conference matchups are a little more interesting, I guess. Um, let's go and start with the Warriors because I think this is the most obvious one. Warriors and Clippers. I mean,
These
man,
fools on vacation.
I was
You
about
know,
to say like,
yeah, we want to match up with the Clippers so we can chill in LA and have short flights. Like they know they about to mollywop these dudes. Like there's
yeah,
really not much to say. I mean, the Clippers again,
sweet.
they it was good for them, I guess, to make the playoffs to make them look more attractive for free agents. I think that was the whole purpose of trying to make it. But
Interesting point. Okay.
but yeah, I mean, uh, maybe the Warriors, maybe Steph is hurt for a game or two, and maybe the Clippers could steal again. I don't know, but there's no way they're going to win the series. So it's
Nah.
not really much uh, analysis we could do here. I mean,
Yeah, no. I mean, yeah, I didn't want to spend too much time on it, but I did want to note that Steph and Draymond are both battling injuries. So, I mean, as of right now, they're probable for the game. So, I mean, they'll probably play. I mean, it's the playoffs, but yes, Steph did have a little ankle injury in his last game, so we'll see. But yeah, like you said, man, this is going to be a sweep. The Clippers will not win 1 game. I don't think any of these games are going to be close. Um, so yeah, I mean, I got them 4-0. Same thing for you.
yeah,
Gotcha. Next series, Houston, Utah. So this series is very interesting to me, man. This is one that I don't really know who's going to win. But before I go ahead, I want your thoughts on this series, man. So 4 seed Houston versus 5 seed Utah Jazz.
so a rematch of last year in the second round,
Yep.
and I think it's probably going to go the same way, man. I mean,
Okay.
all you got to do is bottle up Donovan Mitchell, and Jazz don't got no answer. They don't have anybody. He doesn't have no help to score.
Yeah, but last year they had Trevor Ariza put on Donovan Mitchell and Bob Mute. I mean, who do they got now?
That's a good point. Yeah. Hmm.
I don't see it, man. I mean, Houston. I wouldn't be surprised if they win the series, but I wouldn't be surprised if they lose either. Like, I mean, Utah is another one of those teams that knows what they are and that they play together. And Joe Ingles and Rudy Gobert and Jay Crowder, like those guys are ballers. And I can't believe I'm saying that about Joe Ingles. But he can play. Like he proved it last
Oh
year.
yeah.
Like he was
Oh yeah. About to
like
say, he's legit.
yeah, like this dude is legit. Like I mean,
He basically undressed Paul George, pulled his pants down, and just had him looking silly
looking
out there.
silly. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, I don't. That's my thing. Like I can't underestimate these guys anymore. Like last year, I was like Utah, like, and then I was watching their series, like, what the heck? Like, what's happening? Like these guys are good. So yeah, man, it's interesting. I mean, and I just don't believe in Houston. I still think that they're riding the James Harden train. And this is the playoffs, so even if he averages 50, like his team could still lose. So I don't know. I mean, it's
I
hard.
just don't. Even besides just James, I mean, Houston has a lot more offensive firepower. Like I just
Yeah.
don't think Utah can keep up with them scoring wise.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So like I said, Mitchell, I mean, he's gonna get tired, man. Like even if he's not shut down, they're gonna double him and triple him, and
Sure.
it's gonna be harder for him, you know. So
Yeah.
he thinks he's gonna wear down, and I mean, I don't think it's gonna be an easy series by any means. I see. I got the Rockets in 6 is my prediction. Um,
Okay.
but
Rockets
you know,
is
I wouldn't be surprised if it goes 7. I would be a little surprised if they lose.
really okay.
You go from the Western Conference Finals to having a bit of a helter skelter season this year, but they mostly turned it around,
Yeah.
and then to lose in the first round the next year. I mean, that wouldn't be
Yeah.
too surprising for James Harden. That's his career kind of be like that sometimes, but I don't know.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna go with Rockets in 6. What is your prediction for who's gonna win and how many
I
games?
think yeah, I think that this series is going to be a hard fought series, and I am going to go against the grain here. I know that everybody knows that I hate James Harden, but I have Utah in 7. I think that this will go 7 games, and I think that the Utah will find a way to pull it out. Hopefully that they can scheme and make it tough for James Harden, push him off these pick and rolls. They're not going to call these loosey goosey fouls that they call for in the regular season. And I don't know, man. Like I want Utah to win. I don't want to see Houston. I'm sorry, I just don't. I mean, even as entertaining as Golden State Warriors and the Houston Rockets would be in this semifinals, I don't want to see it. I don't.
So who do you think is favored?
Houston. I think Houston's favored.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
So what do you think Utah has to do to win this series then, as an underdog?
They've got to make it tough for James Harden. Rudy Gobert has to anchor that paint. So he cannot have James Harden getting those easy layups. If James Harden is going to dance and shoot those long threes and he's got to make those, it is what it is. Tip your hat to him. Those are hard shots. If he's going to make those, whatever. But he cannot slither by people, get those little fouls he does, and then get those and ones. He can't have it. So Rudy Gobert has to anchor that paint. Also, Donovan Mitchell, Joe Ingles, Jay Crowder, those guys have to play well. And when I say that, they have to play together, but they also have to hit their shots. And I think they can. Like, Donovan Mitchell is better than he was last year. I mean, sure, he jacks up a lot of shots, but that's what they're paying for. So, I mean, it is what it is. And I'm rooting for them. Like, I don't like the Rockets. I don't like James Harden. So I hope Utah wins.
So if the Rockets go small and have PJ Tucker at center, okay,
they got favors.
So what? You gonna have favors at center? Take Gobert out?
Well, I mean that's what Utah does when they play small. They play favors at the 5, and he's mobile. I mean he's not gonna run out to the 3 and if you whip it through but
yeah, he's healthy this year.
Yeah, and he's really good on offense. Like, he's serviceable, he's tricky, he's crafty, he has good post moves, good counters. He can.
You acknowledge it takes away their defense, right? How is Gobert going to hold down the paint?
He's not.
Obviously, if he's not in the game.
Yeah, he's not.
And so that opens up the paint. So they're going to have, hella drives. James Harden's going to be getting and ones. His step back is unguardable. You just have to hope he misses.
Yeah. Hey,
hope they call trouble.
I said the first thing I said was that James Harden's going to have a big series. He is going to average 50. You just can't make it easy for him. Like, if James Harden's getting an easy 50 every night, like if he's just picking them apart, doing what he wants, they have no chance.
I just don't see favorable matchups for Utah at the end of the day.
Well, I mean, I'm sure Jay Crowder will guard James Harden at the beginning of the games, and I don't know who they'll put on him after that, but
no, I mean, imagine, just list it. Okay, point guard, who's better, Chris Paul or Ricky Rubio?
Come on, man.
Shooting guard, James Harden or Donovan Mitchell?
Come on, man.
Okay, who's Houston started 3 these days? I don't even know.
Houston? That's a great question.
I'm gonna give it to Utah for Joe Ingles.
Right.
Whoever Houston started 3, unless it's Eric Gordon. I mean, I don't know. They're probably about the same.
I think he still comes off the bench. Here, I'm looking it up now. Let's see here. I forgot they had. I forgot. They have Kyle Korver. I forgot about that. He'll be a good help for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. Houston. Who y'all started?
At the 4, PJ Tucker versus Derek Favors, and just
Jay Crowder.
Or Jay Crowder, okay. So I'll give it to that's a wash. I mostly just lean PJ Tucker, but okay. And then Gobert and Capella. I'm leaning Gobert, but that's almost a wash as well. So 3 out of the 5 positions are leaning towards Houston, and then the bench, they got nothing but like shooters and guys who know their role coming off the bench.
Yeah.
Utah has Derek Favors and Exum got hurt again. Who else? Yeah, I know, right? I mean, Korver, okay. So Utah's maybe 7-8 deep, which is probably about the same as
playoff
Houston.
Yeah, that's any playoff team.
Just at the end of the day, I don't see any favorable matchups for Utah to really tip the scales. But sometimes you just got to catch fire in a bottle, and sometimes things just work out like that.
Definitely.
I wouldn't be too surprised if they sneak and win 7, but I would be surprised.
All right.
Like, to me, that would be more surprising than when Utah beat OKC last year.
Oh, wow.
I was not that surprised when Utah beat OKC. OKC was on some bull all year. That's why we thought Paul George was going to leave.
Yeah. Okay. So, next series, man. Oh, well, I'm sorry. So, your pick is still Houston in 6, right?
Yeah.
All right. And I still got Utah in 7. All right. So, next series is those very same Oklahoma City Thunder. Number 6 seed against the number 3 seed Portland Trailblazers. This is another weird one. I mean, obviously Portland, with Nurkic going down, breaking his leg, nasty injury by the way.
I still haven't seen it.
Yeah, I saw a clip and I immediately swiped up and just turned it. I was like, it's bad. You don't want to see it.
Is
But
it worse than Paul George or Gordon Hayward
yes.
or Sean Livingston?
No, not Sean Livingston, but it was worse than Paul George's. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you don't want to see it, but yeah, man. Portland is weird. They're playing well. I mean, they're 8-2 in their last 10 games. They were on a 3-game little winning streak here. I know CJ McCollum was battling a little injury, but he seems to be 100%. They just beat us on a game winner the other day, so it's weird. This series is weird for me. I mean, as much as I want Portland to succeed, I still don't think that they have a chance against Oklahoma City as far as firepower. I think OKC will take this series, but give me your thoughts on this series, man. How do you think it's going to go?
Man, like a month ago, I would have told you OKC, but now I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like I feel some Russell Westbrook effery going on.
Yes,
about to happen.
My ball.
Yeah, right, exactly. And Paul George is kind of bulky right now, hurt his shoulder.
Yeah, that's
he
true.
hasn't been the same. MVP, top 3 MVP caliber type player like he was most of the year. Thought he hit a game winner the other night, but man, I'm going with Portland, man. I'm gonna go with Portland.
Okay. How many games?
And then the Thunder also, they're Billy Donovan is not a good coach.
I'm about to say he is not.
Maybe at the end of the day, nobody can coach Russell Westbrook. And that's just what it boils down to. Russell Westbrook's not going to run an offense. He's going to run what he want to run. He's going to do what he want to do. And you kind of just stuck with it. If that's not the case, then even if it is the case, I mean, what's the point of Billy Donovan? What is he really good for? So I don't know. Yeah, I got Portland and they got home court advantage. I got Portland in 6. They're gonna win on OKC's floor in 6. Mm-hmm.
Okay, man. This was tough, man. I think that this also has the potential to go 7 games, just like the Utah in the Houston series. But Nurkic going down is huge for them. I mean, Steven Adams is a beast on the boards, and he's serviceable on offense, especially in the pick and roll.
He hasn't had a good year though.
No, he hasn't. But I mean, he could easily wake up in the playoffs. I mean, I feel like OKC is kind of built for the playoffs. Like, there's a lot of veterans on their team. They don't care about the regular season, so they kind of just turn it on when they want.
Like what veterans? Raymond Felton, Patrick Patterson.
I was talking about
these garbage
Westbrook. I was talking about Westbrook, Paul George, and Steven Adams. Damn, he had to call them dudes out like that.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna do the same thing we did the last series. Let's list out the matchups. Okay, point guards. I'll just say they cancel out at worst.
Okay,
but I would lean towards Portland at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, shooting guards. Who does OKC even started at the 2 these days?
I have no idea. They used to start
Ferguson.
Ferguson kid, but I don't think they do it anymore.
CJ McCollum.
Definitely.
At the 3, which is Paul George. At the 4,
I have no idea who OKC starts.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
I don't know who Portland starts either. I think they start. I was about to say Patrick Patterson, but I think he plays for.
I think he plays for the Thunder, but he don't get no burn.
Oh wow.
We'll just say the 4 is a wash because we don't even know who. Remember.
Markieff Morris.
Oh, he has not been good for them since he.
Oh, he hasn't. Okay.
Got him. So yeah, I'm gonna say that's a wash, and then the 5, I'm gonna say that's a wash too, man. Cantor, as much he's good offensively, but he's bad defensively.
Yeah.
Whereas Steven Adams, he's okay offensively. He'll dunk and he got a little hook shot.
Yeah.
And defensively, he's a brick wall. Okay, I'm gonna lean towards Steven Adams, but just barely. And then the bench, Portland doesn't have the the best bench ever, but OKC's doesn't have anything. They just got Schroeder, who's.
I'm about to say they got Schroeder
in the last couple months.
So disrespect Dennis Schroeder now.
He's good for 1 game a week. He's too inconsistent, man. So I don't know, and then if Westbrook is out here shooting 30%, then who's gonna score on this team?
No, I agree. I agree. This who do I want? Portland or OKC? Portland. All right. I'm going Portland in five. Portland in
What?
five. I don't. I
You
don't.
were giving me crap for saying 6.
I know.
I thought
I know.
I changed your mind.
You did. Yeah. Like after we went through the matchups, like we couldn't even think of the power forwards. I'm just like, oh my god, Oklahoma City, trash. So all right. Last series, man. Last series. This one's very interesting to me. It's interesting because it has the potential to be so boring, but it also has the potential to be really good. Um, and that is the number 2 seed Denver Nuggets and the number 7 seed San Antonio Spurs. So, I mean, Greg Popovich, you cannot underestimate him. You can't. I've done it so
Right.
many times for the Spurs, and I've been wrong so many times. So
Yep.
even though they're the 7 seed, that doesn't matter, especially because of their opponent. The Denver Nuggets are unproven in the playoffs. They have a plethora of young talent. They do have Paul Millsap, who has gone very far in the playoffs. But other than him, I'm trying to think. Other than him, I'm pretty sure the rest of them have no playoff experience at all. So I don't know, man. I mean, the Spurs are solid. They have a system. They play well together. I mean,
And they have more experience.
I was, yeah, they have more experience, but the playoffs was built for guys like LaMarcus Aldridge and DeMar DeRozan. You know, the two mid range kings.
Hmm.
So I I see the Spurs taking this series, man, and I don't think that's surprising to a lot of people. I'm gonna take the Spurs in five as well. I think the Spurs are gonna handle business. I think they'll steal home court in the first game, and the Nuggets are gonna fall apart.
Um, no, I definitely have this being a difficult series for the Nuggets, but I still think they just have much more talent, and
Mm-hmm.
they're so tough at home up in the Mile High.
They are.
Um, and this being their first time in the playoffs in years, they're going to be electric up there. So
I agree.
I got them. I got the Nuggets in 7. I think it's going to go the
Wow.
distance because
Okay.
there's going to be some games that are going to drop at home that they shouldn't have,
Mm-hmm.
or on the road, I should say that they shouldn't. I think they're going to win at home, but I think they're
Okay.
going to drop a few games on the road and make it more difficult, and it's going to spiral out of control for maybe a stretch. But
Mm-hmm.
like they're going to get blown out probably on at San Antonio, like
Yeah.
game 3 or game 4 or something like that, and then
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna start. Like this is probably going to be the most. This to me, this is the most unpredictable series. I honestly,
I agree.
I mean, I could try to, like you said, you got two guys who games historically have, or suppose actually, if we're talking about DeRozan, he's not great in the playoffs, but like
Sure.
the way they play should translate to the playoffs.
Right.
Consistent shots, getting your spots, you know, do the work before you get the ball type stuff.
Game slows
That
down.
plays out.
Half
Exactly.
court offense. Yes, definitely. That favors the Spurs.
Um, but man, I just like when I look at the talent again, I just don't see how San Antonio could keep up at the end of the day, especially if the Spurs,
Mm-hmm.
if the Nuggets push the pace. And like I said, they're playing at home, where it's Mile High City. Guys get tired quicker because it's 5,000 to 6,000 feet in the air,
Okay.
or miles in the air, I should say, or is it
Mm-hmm.
feet or whatever? Yeah.
Same thing.
Um, so yeah, I'm gonna go Nuggets in 7, but I wouldn't be surprised if Spurs did beat them. I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised at all.
Yeah.
You
This
know, you
series.
know. So that's why in the Game of Zones, they have the Spurs as the White Walkers. They just won't go away, man.
Wow. Game of Thrones part two on here. All
Just-
right. So I just have final questions for you, man. Do you have a series that you're most looking forward to, like as far as watching in this first round?
I say, can I say one in the East, one in the West, or just
Sure.
one
Yeah, man.
total?
However you want to do it.
So the one in the East is that Celtics Pacers.
Mm-hmm.
It's really the only one I'm really interested in at all in the East. And
Okay.
in the West, whew, man, basically any of them besides the Warriors or Clippers could
Should
turn
be
out to be
fun.
some really good stuff. Yeah, but
Yeah,
the one that I'm most interested in is that Utah Houston one.
definitely. Yeah, no, I have the exact same thoughts. Utah, I said Utah. Wow, Utah and Houston should be a very fun, interesting series. And definitely the Celtics and the Pacers should definitely be the same. It's funny; those both are the 4-5 series in each conference. So
Which are usually the
interesting.
best ones, right?
Yeah,
Because they're
yeah, that's true. Evenly
yeah.
matched. Yeah.
Hmm.
But I do have my eye on the Sixers and the Nets series because, like I said, I want to see D'Lo perform and I want to see him do well in the playoffs. But obviously, I'm a fan of Joel Embiid. He's a future Laker. Yes, he is. I'm speaking into existence. So I know Joel Embiid is going to dominate too. So yeah. And do you think that there'll be any upsets in the first round? I mean, I know. Well, I guess you picked one. Well, no, the Nuggets are not an upset. Let me see. You picked Houston. They're not an upset. Yeah. Do you have an upset?
I guess not.
No,
No.
you sure don't. Yeah,
Yeah. All of mine's
everybody you
picked.
pick is the higher seed. I do. I
Yeah, you
think I
picked a
think
few.
yeah. Well, I picked Utah. I mean, I think Utah's going to upset the Jazz. I mean, Utah's going to upset the Rockets in the first round in that 7-game series. Um, and that's pretty much it. I mean, if you call Portland winning in 5 games an upset, I mean, sure, but I think Utah's going to win.
I would say the one that can be an upset that I would not be that shocked is if the Pacers beat the Celtics.
Oh, that's
Those
a good one. Yeah.
those guys are on the verge of 1, 2, 3 Cancun.
Yeah, that's very true.
So
Very true. And looking ahead a little bit to the second round, man, this is the last question I got for you. What potential second round matchup are you looking forward to the most?
probably should have had this ready, but it's got to be something in the East. So yeah, I see
Def-
that Raptors and Sixers. Oh, that's a heavyweight.
yes.
Raptors and Sixers. I need that.
Yeah, man, I agree. Like Raptors and Sixers is going to be must see TV. I can't wait for it. Both of them should have relatively quick series in the first round, so they should get a lot of rest. I want everybody
We
to be at
might
100%, and I want them to battle.
we might get Warriors and Rockets in the
Rockets.
second round.
Yeah, yeah, man.
Which
This playoffs are interesting.
they might actually, if the Rockets advance, they might be beneficial to them in a way.
Hmm.
Just get it over with before, because CP3 always wear down by usually about the second or third round. Same for Harden too. He, keep going to the club too much, you get tired.
Wow, that's funny. All right, man. Thank you so much for coming on. The
Hey, look,
NBA
look, look,
playoff.
look.
Oh,
I just
what's
wanted
up?
to say, I just wanted to end on, we had some icons retiring this year.
Oh, man.
Dirk
Yes.
Nowitzki and Dwayne Wade.
Yes.
Do you have any thoughts on that? I mean, I don't think you were the biggest Wade fan, were you?
I mean, but I was a fan of his game, but I wasn't a Dwayne Wade stan like some people I know. But no, man, I've always respected Dwayne Wade's game, especially because he always showed love to Kobe. But Dwayne Wade was a fantastic player. Him retiring now is kind of a crime. He's only like
Yeah,
what
because he still can
34.
play.
Yeah, he can still play. I mean, he dropped 30 in his last game, but he wants to be with his family. He wants to have both his knees when he's old. So like I understand. But yeah, man, D Wade, like you're gonna be missed. One of my favorite memories, I'm sorry, is when Kobe hit that game winner over you in Staples Center.
The
Uh,
banker.
yeah, that bank shot. Yeah, man, that was just beautiful. But yeah, man, I mean, I'm a huge fan of Dwayne Wade and Dirk. Man, Dirk, like all the battles that we've had with the Mavericks over the years, Dirk, Dirk and Steve Nash, those are two like my favorite like white guy players. Dirk's German, but and Nash is Canadian. But anyway, I mean Dirk, I love his game. Like, dude was unstoppable.
He changed the
Easily,
game, man.
oh my God, trendsetter, first ballot Hall of Famer. But one of my favorite memories of Dirk is in that I want to say it was 2005 or six when Tim Thomas was talking all that mess on the Suns in the playoffs, and he gave him 50, easy 50. Like Dirk was just balling. I'm gonna miss both of those guys, man. They're true icons.
For sure, man. Yeah, I mean, like I said, Dirk changed the game. It's funny, man. Like, I never really believed in him though.
Really? Okay.
Like, because the Mavericks would always, win 50 plus per game, make the playoffs, and flame out. And you can't win with jump shooters, can't win
Sure.
with Europeans as your best player, et cetera, et cetera.
Sure.
That whole stereotype. And now he was the poster boy for that.
Yeah.
I never forget he won the MVP the year that they lost in the first round to the We Believe Warriors. He had to
Yep.
do the MVP press conference like at the crib or whatever. Like usually it's in the second round, right? Like
Yeah.
well, but, at the time before they changed it to
The award show.
the award show, which I hate. Uh,
I do too.
so yeah, that was I think the only guy, or at least the only one I know that I remember that accepted the trophy, like not in the second round. So that was he was kind of like just known for that. Just great player, but can't win.
Hmm.
But that 2011 playoffs,
Man,
my goodness, he was
beautiful.
he was incredible, man. Like he
Yeah,
was
he
just
was.
eviscerating everybody.
Yeah,
Gave us the
especially us.
business,
I'm about
the
to say he killed
Spurs,
us,
the
man.
Thunder,
Hmm.
the Heat, just
Yeah.
dropping 30, 40, like easy. Like go to
Yes.
that top of the key at the free throw line. They call it the Dirk play now, like the Dirk
Yeah.
ISO. Because of that, like go up there, hit that one-legged fadeaway. I mean, just classic. You know it's coming, you can't stop it.
Unstoppable move, man.
So I gained an enormous amount of respect and reverence for Dirk after that playoff series, after that playoff run. To be honest, that probably is the best playoff run I've ever seen since like the Jordan days,
Hmm.
or like the Shaq,
Absolutely.
Shaq in his prime. Okay, so I'll say something like that. But yeah,
Yeah.
he was absolutely incredible. And then Wade, I used to hate on him because, ironically, how when he won his first championship and beat the Mavericks, this fool was getting every freaking free throw possible. It was like ridiculous. And people, putting his stats trying to say he was better than Kobe or whatever. So I was like, all right, we're not starting this. So I used to hate on him, kind of just relentlessly for. I mean, not just out of the way, but I just never really cared for his game.
Hmm.
I was a Wade hater somewhat before I even like started hating on LeBron at all.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, I used to always say LeBron was better even when Wade was winning championships and all that stuff. So I didn't care about that.
Hmm.
So, but I gained a lot of respect for him. Actually, how he received LeBron on his team, on his town, and he took a step back and was like, you know what, to make us the best we can be, you got to be the best you can be. You got to be the
Hmm.
top dog. I don't
Hmm.
think since like I can't think of any player in their prime, superstar, top five player in their prime, a champion already in their prime that were willing to do that at
Yeah.
that time. And now we got like Steph Curry doing that for KD.
Right.
And so now we have the super team era. Everybody want to team up. So in a way, Wade was kind of like the forefather for laying down your pride and just letting other stars come to your space and take over
Hmm.
and shine as well. And he's also in his respect up until this point is I'd say the third best shooting guard of all time. He might get passed by Harden here very soon, but you he had a great career too, man. It's unfortunate
Absolutely.
he kept getting hurt a lot. He couldn't play, 70, 80 plus games every year, so he couldn't have a gaudy career stats. Say like Dirk, who's 30,000 points. I think he's fifth, sixth all time in points.
I think he's fourth now. I think he's just behind Kobe.
No, it's LeBron behind Kobe.
Oh yeah, you're right. So he's fifth. Then
Yeah,
he's fifth.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I want to say yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, he passed Wilt. Yeah,
Hmm.
so that's a pretty incredible achievement. And
Absolutely.
even with that said, I want to say like who do you think was better all time, Dirk or Wade? I
Ooh,
lean towards Dirk, but it's kind of
man.
close.
Yeah, man, it's tough because I think it's. I mean, I look at it this way: Dirk meant more to basketball than Dwayne Wade did because Dirk had the overseas reach,
Oh,
like,
for
and he
sure.
was he was already a star in Germany before he came here. Like Dirk, and like you said, like Dirk changed the game. Like he started the big man shooting threes, the
Yeah,
pop out
Kevin Durant.
threes. Yeah, like he started that. Um, man, and Dirk was just so incredible to watch, man. But real quick about Dwayne Wade, I want to make sure I mention that him and LeBron have a great relationship, but they have the most classic NBA photo of all time. The one where D Wade
The
throws
alley
up the
oop.
lob, yes,
Yeah,
bro,
with
and
his
then
arms
he
stretched
just
out.
yes, that
Yeah,
is the
that
most
is.
classic. Like I would like I'm not a huge fan of either one of those guys. I would buy that poster and hang it on my wall because it's just so legit. I love that. Like anytime I see it on social media, I like it, share, retweet it, whatever. I love that. Thank you for that.
Yeah, can't argue with that. Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, D Wade, Dirk Nowitzki, thank you so much, guys. Y'all were basically like my entire life with basketball.
Yeah, he
It's
getting old,
it's
man.
I know, man. It's crazy. Like basically everybody that I grew up watching is no longer playing anymore aside from Vince Carter.
Vince Carter, yeah.
So yeah,
Power
it's
Soul.
interesting. Oh yeah, and pow, 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 pow. Shout out, mom. But yeah, that's all for today, guys. Jabbar, appreciate you coming on, man. This was a great pod, and we'll see you guys next time.
Later.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Current Era Podcast. Please keep up with our takes. I have them all written down. So yeah, let's battle on Twitter. Let's see who's right and let's see who's wrong. I'm really looking forward to this playoffs, man, as I previously stated. And please remember, guys, to rate, like, and subscribe on iTunes or wherever you listen to your podcast. Please spread the word. Help make this podcast grow. I almost did it again, Mandela. Only you're going to know what I'm talking about. So, yeah, thank you so much, guys, for listening. Please remember to leave me a review. Let me know how I'm doing and continue to download those episodes. Again, the downloads are what really count for me. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. I'll see you on Monday.